their spouse, without their mother, without their husband, and without their father. And even for those of you who are sitting in lawn chairs and even in the outer court, I hope that you'll join me for just one moment, just to thank God for their resilience and for their strength. I ask that every person would just stand all over this field. Come on, would you give them an overwhelming applause? Come on, let's give them a big cheer. Let's do better than that. I want us to shut the internet down. Those of you that have a cell phone, would you just take a picture of all of these family members? We're going to use the hashtag Emanuel9. I want that all over Instagram. I want it all over Facebook. I want it over Twitter. For the 5 of you that are still on MySpace, I want you to please put it on. But I want America to see the resilience of South Carolina, the strength of South Carolina. See these family members who are the byproduct and the beneficiary of what it looks like when a community prays and when a community stands together. You to please put that out. Can put out everything about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, but let's put out the family members of the Emanuel 9 and use that hashtag so America can see what survivors and resilience looks like. One more time, would you give them a big hand, please? Come on. I want them to stand with me as a guest to this great city. Sir Walter Riley said that we see further because we stand on the shoulders of giants. And amazingly, these 9 are standing because of the congregants and because of the pastor and leadership of Mother Emanuel AME Church. And I want you to join me because people are coming from all over the world now to worship at Mother Emanuel and to just get connected to their faith. Would you join me in thanking God for the Mother Emanuel family and for their incredible pastor for showing the world what raw faith looks like, that they are the essence and the meaning of the audacity of hope. My dear friends, that we've been standing out here since 9 o'clock this morning, and we bear witness in the Gospels of Jesus Christ of so many miracles that have happened, from him feeding 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, a blind man who was standing by the roadside, a woman who had an issue of blood. But today we have witnessed a modern day miracle that from 9 o'clock until now, nobody has had a sunstroke. Would you help me? Thank God that the ambulance didn't take any of us away, but that we're still here. I was trying to figure out on a Saturday how it is that we could get a message to the Department of Health and Human Services, how it is that we could alert the World Health Organization that there is in fact a health crisis in this community. Yes. And the health crisis that is in this community is claiming more lives than cancer, yes, is more scary than the opiate epidemic, is in fact more harrowing than HIV. And that health crisis, Mr. Mayor, that is now plaguing America is a disease called apathy. And we're seeing apathy run rampant. And for those of you who really do not believe of its existence and its plague, not even 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago now, that while it is that 2,000 children found themselves in detention camps, that the most famous illegal immigrant in this nation is now the first lady of this nation, and that she would wear a jacket that says, "Nobody cares, do you?" And so I flew here from Baltimore just to ask the people of Charleston, South Carolina, do you still care? 3 years later, do you still care that America has to live up to be the land of the free and the home of the brave? Do you still care to know that at the borders of the nation that opened up its doors and its arms to immigrants under the banner of the Statue of Liberty, give me those who are yearning to breathe free? Do you still care? Do you still care that when it is that 3 years ago every media outlet in the world came to Charleston, South Carolina, and we heard pledges and speeches about gun reform, and now 27 mass shootings later, still nothing has been done? Do you still care? Do you still care that in America you still judge based off of the color of your skin rather than the content of your character? But America needs to see today that America looks like Charleston, South Carolina, that if we can stand together and walk together and pray together and grieve together, then we can grow together and do business together and change together. I think America needs to see what it is that the City Council of Charleston has just done in our presence to give a formal apology to slavery, that this ought to in fact be the rubric and the template for Congress, the Senate, and all 50 states of the United States of America. Give a cheer to the mayor of Charleston and the city council members of Charleston of leading the way. At its very core, an apology without a change of behavior is nothing. And Charleston has to set the stage that after we have the apology, our actions have to speak louder than our words. As a consequence, if in fact you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu. And so the black people in Charleston, South Carolina need to be at the table for development and for business and for entrepreneurship. Shame on us if black people can get a loan for a used car but can't get a loan to start a business. Something has to happen. If in fact you have money for USC, then you have to have money for South Carolina State, for Benedict College, and for Allen University. Shame on us if in fact you can get shot in the back for being delinquent in child support in North Charleston, South Carolina, and 3 years later a young man is shot in his back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, because America believes that it is digestible and tolerable. But Charleston stands today to say that we still care. And Emanuel needs to take off that coat that America is wearing, because far too many people do not care. But these 9 members of the family of the Emanuel 9 are standing to remind America and our impotent Senate, you still have something that you must do, and to tell Donald Trump that this is not a game show. These are people's lives that are on the line, and something has to happen. When Ivanka came out of Andrews Air Force Base, she was wearing that jacket that I don't care, do you? But when she got on the plane, she took the jacket off. It is shame on us that so many of us change when we get elevated. So many of us change when we get to a higher place. We cannot elect people on speeches if they do not mirror our convictions.
That's right.
This massacre that happened in the basement of Mother Emanuel is a reflection of the silence of evangelicals who do not speak truth to power. The church has got to reflect the compassion, the grace, and the love of Jesus Christ. If you do not hold up to those values, stop saying you are a Christian. You are just an apostolic atheist. We need people who in fact mirror the word of God and the love of God so that we may go forward. They have today, while we are standing out here, 2,000 children are in cages in detention centers. And we came to Charleston to rattle the cage. Not just the cages of the immigrants, but to rattle the cages of the brown and black people who are being illegally profiled and being flushed down a prison pipeline without giving an opportunity for rehabilitation, for job training, and an opportunity to advance in this place called America. We came to rattle the cage because if we're going to talk about immigration, we have to talk about incarceration. Something has to happen in America if in fact we're going to change this country. We cannot turn a blinded eye, because if I am in trouble, then so are you. Jesus healed 10 lepers, and when he healed the 10 lepers, he sent them to church, and only one came back to say thank you. And he asked the question, where are the other 9? In Charleston, we know where the other 9 are, but you don't know you are the lepers that got away. And if you got away, you have a responsibility to help somebody else so that they can be better, stronger, and more involved in the system. I want you to do me a favor, because you are standing today beside a history maker and a world changer, somebody who is going to change the culture and the landscape of this nation. Would you do me a favor and cheer for whoever's sitting next to you, standing next to you, because they are not going to roll over and play dead. They are going to stand and realize something has to happen. Do we still care? I can't hear you, Charleston. Do we still care? I can't hear you. Do we still care? Do you care that young black men can get arrested in Starbucks? Do you care that black people are being harassed at the Waffle House? Do you care that H&M would print a t-shirt and put it on a blackboard that says wildest animal in the zoo? Do you still care? The real evidence of our care and our compassion is how do we respond when the cameras are not here?
That's right.
What do we do when it's not for likes on Facebook?
That's right.
What do we do when nobody else is looking? Yes, you have black friends, but do you support black businesses? Don't just come to the church, be with us after the benediction. The real evidence of who it is that we are is how do we walk out our faith when church is over. Many of us are in a dangerous place because the real racists don't wear jackets from Zara. But they don't give people an opportunity. They fail them in public schools. They deny them the right to buy their own homes. They profile them while they're driving down the highway. Do we still care? And if we still care, then our actions have got to speak louder than our words. I'll never forget the blizzard of 1979. I was just a small child at that time, but the blizzard of 1979, a story is told about a young boy by the name of Tommy, who, while the snow was coming down relentlessly, said to his mother, "Can I go outside and play?" A single mother working hard said to her son, her only begotten son, "You can go out and play, but put on a hat, put on gloves, put on boots, and don't stay out long." The mother, who has been working a double shift all day, fell into a nap on her couch and woke up abruptly and didn't realize how long she had been asleep. And when she woke up, she realized that her son still wasn't back home at 9 years of age. She goes outside in the middle of that horrific blizzard and starts calling his name, to which there is no answer. She looks for footsteps, but by now they've been covered up by the snow. And with heightened, elevated anxiety, she calls 911, and within moments, police come to her home and take a report. "Where is Tommy?" And they tell the mother, "Stay in the house, we're gonna go look for him. We'll call the community together, and we assure you we'll find your son." They called all of the police together on the dispatch, and they met at the house. And the sheriff said to all of the police officers and all of the community members who volunteered, "Let's go out 2 at a time, and we'll find this young man, 9 years old, lost in the snow." My dear friends, hours began to elapse, and still no sign of Tommy. They came back to the house and said, "The sun is going down now. We're going to have to call off the search until tomorrow." The mother, who was desperate, pleaded, "Please don't stop looking for my son. It's the only son that I have. It's the only child that I have. It's the only future that I have." And the sheriff tries to calm this mother down and said, "We did everything that we could. We went out 2 by 2, and we couldn't find him." The mother said, "I don't have any degree in criminology from the Citadel. I've got absolutely no background of criminal justice from any of these institutions." But she said, "I got an idea. Instead of everybody going out 2 by 2, let's all hold hands. Let's hold hands and spread out across the field. And I feel like we can find my son. South Carolinians, they went about a mile until the dogs started barking. The dogs discovered that little Tommy had fallen into a ditch. And they jumped into that ditch and they pulled out his cold and lifeless body. And they tried to apply CPR and resuscitate him. And nothing happened. And the doctor said to that weeping mother, "We apologize. We couldn't save your son. We apologize that we didn't get here any sooner." And the mother said, "I want to thank all of the volunteers. I want to thank all of those who have come. I want to thank all of those who helped. I only have one regret, that we didn't come together sooner. Because if we had come together sooner, we could have saved our son and we could have changed this community." Charleston, I'm so grateful that you have come together. And because you have come together, we're going to save a generation of Americans who will not be divided, who will not be lost in the storm, who will not, in fact, have their dreams snuffed out. And long before the blizzard of 1979, the runaway slaves from South Carolina said, "Walk together, children. Don't you get weary. There'll be a great camp meeting in the promised land." God bless you, Charleston.